almost did. But not enough people went to vote. So could they win? Yes, but you know whose responsibility is? Your.
Okay. Let's see. I think we're having trouble with the phone today. We're trying to call time. I think we
U.S. Naval Observatory Master Clock. At the tone, Eastern Standard Time, 19 hours, 44 minutes, 15 seconds.
Oh, okay.
Universal Time, 0 hours, 44 minutes, 20 seconds.
Okay. So, time was busy. So, this is AnnestaciA KomarovsK with the 444 4th Estate News. It's a little chilly today. Got the window open. It's a nice bright day, kind of dry. So, I was listening to her talk about fundraising for governor and flipping the state red. Well, how about just burgundy? My color of choice. So first, a couple things. I think really loud back there. Don't eat it. I get you guys every time. So let me, it's a little warm in here with my coat. So I'm going to go turn off the TV and take off my coat. You know, it is New Year's, so did I ever introduce myself? This is AnnestaciA KomarovsK with the 4:44 p.m. 4th Estate News. Happy New Year. There you go. So entertain yourself. That's the BBC at 0 hour UTC this morning. Okay, hold on. Go turn this down. There's just a little. Gee whiz. What's going on that TV? Oh, this thing is really warm. Oh, I gotta take it off. Excuse me as I take off my coat. Okay. Let's see. Okay. We're back. So, got some roses. Rose parade and stuff. And we stayed home because Governor Ann, well, I can call myself Governor Ann. An umbrella for the next few days. Tomorrow will be dry. But look at this, $4.97 for an umbrella. Wow, that's a pretty good deal. So what's other stuff here? We have, let's see what we can go to that's not going to get us into trouble. Okay. Oh, well, hello, Steve Hilton. How are you doing today? Okay, well, News Nation, there you go. What's going on in tape here? Okay, well, that's Hilton for governor, which, well, he kind of draws some attention to some of these issues we're having, like this. Oh, the high-speed rail. And the reason this is all kind of important is because it's having a lot of issues. And perhaps we need to bring in people who know rails in California. So the Burlington Northern Santa Fe, or BNSF, that's known, perhaps want to weigh in on high-speed rail because it's costing billions of dollars. Another friend of ours is, what happened to them? They're missing. It's a Union Pacific, but I can't find their site for some bizarre reason. Oh, here it is. I found it. There you go. That's the Union Pacific, who, together with the Central Pacific back in the day, in the 1800s, built the first transcontinental railway across. So now the Rio Grande and Southern Pacific and Union Pacific are one. So we have like two railroads. So, and now there's a lot of talk about mergers and stuff, and perhaps it might be a good idea if we build a third railway. You know, right now that railroad, the railroad to nowhere, is kind of stuck, and President Trump cut off funding for it, so it's kind of like not going anywhere. But it's standard gauge, and so perhaps somebody could pitch in and say, let's build a railroad, another one, third, why not? Competition is good for business. So the UP wants to merge with another railroad, and so does the BNSF. Okay, good, let's make a deal. Let's create another railroad. So if somebody wants to pitch in and complete our high-speed rail to nowhere right now, that would be a grand idea. And that's the thing about Governor AnnestaciA KomarovsK, which I can call myself that and also queen of the universe, is solution-oriented. Yeah, I think that's the key to making things happen, is have a plan. I wanted to show you this real quick. We were feeling kind of guilty. I don't think there was any audio with that. Yep, there was no audio. Yikes. I wonder if I can add it on the fly. I never really tried this before, is to add audio on the fly. So these are kind of things, we get kind of hung up here and there, but we're professionals. So can we add audio on the fly? Let's see. Well, it appears so. So I'll start again real quick. There was no audio, now there is. Fixing things, let's fix it on the fly. So that's our, on the left there is the Apple MacBook Pro 14 with an M5 chip. And so we were feeling a little weird about the whole thing, but we like it now because it does a lot of stuff. We do a lot of screens. And that can be very problematic to do a lot of screens. And, well, there was this little rose parade and stuff, but we stayed in. But it was very colorful out there. And that's courtesy of KTLA. I like their colors, that purple burgundy. It's pretty cool. Here's my, I kind of took a little, kind of like the little rabbit and all, because we have this thing about say rabbit. First word, or actually supposed to say rabbit, rabbit, rabbit. But I just say rabbit once for first time, first word out of your mouth for the, it's supposed to bring you good luck. Speaking of good luck, yeah, these antennas were at Mount Wilson, and you probably didn't hear this reported, but they fell down in Mount Wilson. The wind, and they got toppled over. Yeah, that's pretty bizarre there. But that's probably an exclusive thing. Not too many people know that went on. And let's go back to something that matters. Both matter, by the way, communications matters. But here we are looking at this, and you see that it's the amount of money that high-speed rail is costing. That's AI. Now, you could say, oh, I don't want to believe AI, but, well, it's Google, but it's pretty expensive stuff. Yeah, it's pretty expensive for us to be not having good advice. So we need to investigate this project, and now it's on hold, if you haven't heard. So there's a lot of controversy on how they got the land and if there was any criminal activity. It should be investigated by the Attorney General of California. So I can't, as governor, make things happen. You have to elect good governance. So excuse me, I need more coffee. I think that's the issue. But I won't do that on air. But that's coffee. Governance. We, the people, have to choose good leadership, good governance, above all. Not red or blue, but governance, good governance. People who care, and sorry, had to bring up the scanner. People who care to make things happen, solutions. Yesterday, I wasn't joking about the homeless and, ponchos and umbrellas. $9.99, we could have flown them in. Because look at now, all the shot we had earlier with all the umbrellas and stuff, and the ponchos. So this is solutions, and that's what we need, is good governance. And it starts with we, the people, to choose good governance over everything else. Politics has to end. World peace. The Pope was calling for world peace today at a sermon. At the same time, I think some people died in Europe today. But I'm not sure how many. But there was an incident in Europe today. Oh, Malibu. So here in Malibu, we're expecting rain and all kinds of stuff. So we almost have. Yeah, is this a scanner doing its thing? One thing I did want to bring up is, this is what we're supposed to be doing, is doing this. that is the message that's being communicated. Yeah, well, I guess Earth, roses, okay. That's the camera doing its thing. Well, that was a little different. Okay. And then quick plug for Clark's, local Malibu place. We had one of the first meals served at their restaurant, one of the first days they were open. Okay, so Clark's, there you go. Check it out here in Malibu. Okay, good food, nice atmosphere, and we have some balance left on our gift card. So Harbor Freight, Granger, Home Depot, Lowe's, all those places, you can get some rain gear, maybe even an umbrella. So tomorrow I might be in the town of Paramount, California, where I'll be using this computer. Yeah, it's a what we use to program our two-way radios, and it runs on Windows XP. So this one has telephone modem port, Ethernet ports, keyboard for old keyboards. It doesn't have HDMI. It's got VGA. This is state-of-the-art back in the day. This is about 20 years old. Yeah. Check out that parallel port. Bet you haven't seen one of those. That's this big one right there. That's how we hooked up our printers back in the day. And there's a lot of very unique things going on right now. And I just want to share them because it's like time flies quickly. It really does. And I can prove it to you. Watch. See, this is the Rose Parade about 20 years ago. Look at this. This is it. Good Morning America for ABC. These are all the crew shots and stuff, and this is the way it was, and this is one of our trucks. Let's see, which one should we click? I think this one's better. There you go. Yes, there you go. That's kind of cute. It's the one thing we noticed is the archives were different back then. That because we didn't have the bandwidth we have today, so pictures were smaller and stuff. So I don't know. I guess the point is try to shoot them at high res and get it off your phone, store it away, or something like that. So just advice. This happened today too, and everybody's talking about the new mayor in New York who kind of shares an idea that it's somewhat controversial, but I don't think it should. And that is, if I could find it here. Here is a question that people have. Solutions again. Universal health care, can it work? Well, we don't necessarily think he's about universal health care, but there is somebody who really does support universal health care, and that's me. Everyone should have health care, access to it. And we talked about this yesterday, and I'm looking at the time, and we're going to run out. And I'm going to have to go out like on something else, some weather or something. I'll have to clip something on here. Maybe I'll clip on that thing about high-speed rail. Yeah, because somebody did a nice little report on it. So I'm going to go out to a weather shot. And in terms of fund, people say, how do you fund this stuff? It's like, well, we already have billions and billions of dollars allocated to homelessness and excess in gas tax, which you end up getting a cut in gas tax, period. It's going to save you a ton of money. So I'm going to go out to a weather shot here, and I'll tag on that video if I find it. Because I couldn't find it, so I have to ask for it again. So we'll go out on the same weather camera we started with, or maybe we'll do a different camera. Hold on, what catches my fancy? So we have all kinds of them here. Here, let me fade to it, and we can choose together. Here we go. Fade. There you go. So this is AnnestaciA KomarovsK with the 444 4th Estate News, sorry, on the 1st of 2026, which is going to be my year. Here, I like this one. Okay, well, thank you all very much, and have a very good 1st of 2026. Thank you.